G'day, I'm Mark from Self Sufficient Me, and in this video I'm going to show you the easiest and cheapest way to make compost for your garden. Let's get into it. Now this isn't going to be a long video because it doesn't have to be. It is that simple. It's that easy. Behind me here used to be a big pile of garden waste. We never turned it, we never did anything to it. We didn't even bother trying to get the mix right. You might have heard a lot about composting over the years on the technique and the best way to compost and all those types of things. How to make your compost perfect by adding some greens, adding some carbon, adding veggies or adding wet stuff and then adding dry stuff. All that type of thing is all well and good, but I feel that sometimes it just gets overcomplicated. Compost is just simply the breaking down process of organic matter. Now, if you've got a backyard or any type of yard at all, at some stage, if you're working in it, you're going to be doing some pruning and you're going to get some garden waste. Instead of putting it into the green bin or taking it to the tip yourself, what you can do is a really simple way to make compost, and that is to build a compost pile. And when I say build it, I don't mean build it in any sophisticated way. I mean, as you find your garden waste, you just stick it in a pile somewhere that's convenient. It doesn't have to be in the sun, it doesn't have to be in the shade, it doesn't have to be part shade. It just has to be in a convenient corner of your place that you can put it out of the way. And 8 months ago, that's exactly what we did. I assigned my youngest son, Luke, to chop up a bunch of garden waste that we had already harvested. This waste came from some of our fruit trees. There was a lot of dry stuff, and then there was some good fresh green stuff. If you've only got just green stuff, because all your big pile is going to be made up of recent prunings that you've got from your garden or your veggie patch, so be it. Don't fret over it. Don't worry about it. And if your pile is made up of a whole heap of brown matter and you don't have hardly any green stuff in it at all, don't worry either. It will still break down. So this here, like I said, was a mixture of vegetable garden scraps and fruit tree prunings. So the fruit tree prunings got chopped up even further and then put through a mulcher. And the vegetable garden scraps, well, they just got thrown in here willy-nilly. Some of it was sugarcane plants, other things were taro, and some vine here happens to be purple yam. Look at all the worms and the little bugs in here. Oh, it's a pile of goodness. Let's check this taro out. There we go. Now we could eat these tubers, but what I'm probably going to do is just transplant them into the veggie garden and let them grow on and get a bit bigger for next season. Okay, right back to the extremities of this pile, because this is really valuable stuff and I don't want to leave any of it behind. There it is, all around here. We'll probably get a good wheelbarrow plus full of wonderful black gold out of this. Okay, now it's time to start digging. Wow. I'll tell you what, it's just full of beautiful stuff. Look at this stuff here. You just got to get your hands into it. Wow, it's a bit wet at the moment, but that's fine. That's good. It's still oxygenated. That's why we've got so many worms here. Bit of a spider. Check it out. It's just full of little animals, but it smells beautiful. It's so dark. That's why they call it black gold. You only need to spread this stuff about 1 inch thick around your garden beds or just top dress around plants. You can dig it in, of course. That way it doesn't sort of dry out too much, but it won't lose its nutrients. But yeah, I'd top dress it around plants and then mulch on top of that. And that goodness will then just seep into the soil and the plants will get all that nourishment. You can take the bigger sticks or the bigger pieces out as you go. You want to keep the worms and put them in the garden bed because they're going to be little helpers to fertilize your plants in the future, and they're going to create more colonies of worms in your garden beds. And I know this is all compost because underneath here is weed mat. It's geofabric, so that's where we put it on top of. I can see there is a little bit of existing soil here. It's just a little bit of crusher dust. So that wasn't made by that pile. But the thing is, this compost would have leached into that. So that's why I'm grabbing about 1 inch or 2 down as well of that existing soil, because that's going to be now full of nutrition. Don't want to waste it. Well, there we go. I'll go through in the next few days and pick out a lot of this larger stuff, like I said, and it will dry out somewhat as well. And then when it starts to dry out a little bit, what I'll do is, if I want to use it, depends on what use you want to use it for. If you want to use your compost as a seed raising mix and add a few other things to it, like maybe vermiculite or perlite or some volcanic rock to it, or maybe some coconut core or something like that, well, you can. And if you're going to use it for seedlings and this is too big, what you can just do is sift it through a compost sifter. But in this case, I've got to let it dry out a bit. We've had a lot of rain, but in your case, it's probably going to be a lot drier than this, and it'll be easier to almost straight away start sifting it in a rolling sifter, or indeed in just a normal manual sifter. And then you can get a finer mix if you want to use it for potting plants or seedlings. But don't be afraid to use this chunky style. Again, easy, no fuss, no mucking around. What I'm likely to do is I'll use this directly as it is, even with some big sticks in it, straight into the garden bed and let it do its work. It's fabulous stuff, better than any fertilizer, certainly better than any sterile compost mix you can get from the store. Well, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big, dirty, composted, easy and cheapest thumbs up that you can give. Share the video around, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Cheers. Fantastic stuff. Good one.